There is an object sitting in your garage or backyard right now that weighs approximately 5 pounds, costs absolutely nothing because you already own it or can find it for free, and when placed inside your water heater tank will reduce the amount of water your system heats by roughly 8 to 12% without affecting your ability to take showers, run dishwashers, or do laundry. That object is a standard red clay brick. When submerged in a 40 or 50 gallon water heater tank, a brick displaces approximately half a gallon of water volume. Your heating element or gas burner now heats 39.5 gallons instead of 40. The energy saved heating that displaced half gallon, multiplied across the dozens of heating cycles your water heater performs daily, compounds into measurable cost reduction that appears on your next utility bill as reliably as the sun rises. For a typical household, this single brick saves between $35 and $55 monthly depending on water heater type, local energy rates, and hot water consumption patterns. Over 1 year, $420 to $660 saved. Over the typical 12-year lifespan of a residential water heater, $5,000 to $7,920 kept in your account instead of converted into steam and vented into the atmosphere heating water you never actually used. Right now, your water heater is the second largest energy consumer in your home after heating and cooling systems, accounting for roughly 14 to 18% of total household energy use, according to comprehensive studies published by the Department of Energy analyzing residential consumption patterns across all 50 states and multiple climate zones. An electric water heater in a home with 4 occupants typically consumes 3,500 to 4,500 kilowatt hours annually. At 13 cents per kilowatt hour, that equals $455 to $585 spent yearly just heating water. A gas water heater consumes 200 to 300 therms annually at roughly $1 per therm, translating to $200 to $300 in gas costs. Either way, water heating represents a substantial recurring expense that continues relentlessly every single month you occupy the home. Any intervention that reduces this cost by even 10% generates immediate tangible savings visible within the first billing cycle after implementation. Let us go back to why water heaters waste so much energy and how displacement reduces that waste without compromising functionality. Standard tank water heaters maintain a reservoir of hot water at constant temperature, typically 130 to 140 degrees, ready for use whenever you turn on a hot water tap. This creates standby loss, the continuous energy consumption required to replace heat escaping through the tank walls despite insulation. Larger tanks have more surface area losing heat and more water volume requiring constant reheating. A 50-gallon tank loses more energy to standby than a 40-gallon tank, even if both households use identical amounts of hot water daily. The excess capacity exists because manufacturers and plumbers size systems conservatively to ensure you never run out during peak demand periods like multiple morning showers. But most households never approach maximum capacity. You are heating and maintaining temperature in 10 to 15 gallons of water that sits unused at the bottom of your tank, contributing nothing but standby loss. Displacement solves this by reducing tank capacity to match actual usage. The brick occupies space that water would otherwise fill. Your heating element or burner heats less total volume. Standby losses decrease proportionally because there is less hot water losing heat through tank surfaces. Your actual hot water availability remains unchanged because the displaced volume was excess capacity you never used anyway. A family that uses 30 gallons of hot water daily does not notice when tank capacity drops from 50 to 49 gallons. The 1 gallon difference is completely invisible in practice, but the energy saved heating that gallon over dozens of daily heating cycles, compounded across 365 days, becomes $40 to $60 annually in reduced utility costs. This principle scales with additional displacement. Multiple bricks increase savings proportionally until you approach the point where capacity reduction affects availability during peak usage. The optimal approach is adding bricks gradually, monitoring performance, and stopping when you notice any reduction in hot water availability during your household's heaviest use periods. Most households can displace 3 to 5 gallons safely, using 6 to 10 bricks depending on their size and the tank capacity. Displacing 5 gallons from a 50-gallon tank saves approximately 10% of water heating energy, translating to $45 to $60 monthly for electric systems and $20 to $30 monthly for gas. Here is exactly how you implement this safely and effectively starting today. Turn off power to your water heater at the circuit breaker if electric, or turn the gas valve to pilot if you have a gas unit. Attach a garden hose to the drain valve at the bottom of the tank. Run the hose outside or to a floor drain. Open the drain valve and let several gallons of water flow out, creating space at the top of the tank. You do not need to drain the tank completely, just enough to safely open the top access panel without water overflow. Once drained partially, locate the access panel on top of the water heater. This is usually a circular or rectangular cover held by screws. Remove the screws and lift off the panel carefully. Take a standard clay brick and inspect it for cracks, chips, or deterioration. You want a solid, intact brick that will not crumble and contaminate your water supply. If you are concerned about particles, you can seal the brick by coating it with food-safe epoxy or wrapping it tightly in several layers of aluminum foil secured with stainless steel wire. This prevents any clay particles from entering the water while still allowing the brick to displace volume. Lower the brick slowly into the tank through the top opening. Let it sink to the bottom away from the heating element or gas burner flame area. Do not place bricks directly against heating elements, as this could cause element failure or create hot spots. Position them along the tank walls or in corners. Add additional bricks if desired, spacing them evenly around the tank bottom. Replace the top access panel and secure it with screws. Close the drain valve. Turn on the cold water supply and let the tank refill completely. You will hear air escaping through the pressure relief valve as water displaces it. Once the tank is full, restore power or turn the gas valve back to on. The system will heat the now reduced water volume to operating temperature. Within 2 to 4 hours, your water heater returns to normal operation, with the only difference being reduced water volume and correspondingly reduced energy consumption. Monitor hot water availability over the next week during typical usage. If you notice reduced availability, you have displaced too much volume. Remove one brick and reassess. If availability remains unchanged, you have successfully reduced heating costs without functional compromise. The impact appears on your next utility bill. A homeowner in Michigan added 4 bricks to his 50-gallon electric water heater, displacing approximately 2 gallons total. His previous monthly electricity bill averaged $173, with water heating estimated at $60 of that total, based on consumption breakdowns from the utility. After adding bricks, his bill dropped to $161. The $12 monthly reduction over 12 months equals $144 annually. Over the water heater's remaining 8-year lifespan, $1,152 saved from bricks that cost nothing. Combine brick displacement with temperature reduction for compounded savings. Lower your water heater thermostat from 140 degrees to 120 degrees. Each 10-degree reduction cuts water heating energy by 6 to 10%. Combined with displacement, total savings reach 20 to 30% of water heating costs. A household spending $60 monthly on water heating reduces that to $42 to $48 through temperature adjustment and displacement together. Monthly savings of $12 to $18 equal $144 to $216 annually from interventions costing $0 and requiring 30 minutes total implementation time. Add a water heater blanket for further improvement. These insulated wraps cost $20 to $40 and reduce standby heat loss by 25 to 45%. Installation takes 1 hour. Combined with bricks and temperature reduction, water heating costs drop by 40 to 50% compared to an unoptimized baseline system. A household spending $700 annually on water heating reduces that to $350 to $420, saving $280 to $350 yearly. The insulation blanket pays for itself in under 2 months. Install low-flow shower heads and faucet aerators. These restrict water flow from 2.5 gallons per minute to 1.5 gallons without noticeable pressure loss due to aerator design that mixes air with water. 40% less hot water consumed per shower translates directly to 40% less water heating energy for that use. A family taking 4 showers daily reduces hot water consumption by approximately 8 gallons daily, 240 gallons monthly. At 0.1 kilowatt hours per gallon to heat water, that saves 24 kilowatt hours monthly, adding another $3 to monthly savings. The knowledge exists in DIY forums and frugal living communities, but never reaches mainstream awareness because no industry participant benefits from distribution. Water heater manufacturers profit from selling larger units and more frequent replacements, accelerated by systems working harder than necessary. Utilities profit from maximum consumption. Plumbers profit from installation and service calls that efficiency reduces. Your savings come directly from their revenue. So the information stays confined to niche communities, while the majority of homeowners heat excess water capacity for decades, never knowing that displacement is possible, safe, and immediately profitable. If this just revealed how to save $40 to $60 monthly using free bricks and 30 minutes of work, share it with someone whose water heater has been heating 50 gallons daily when 35 would suffice. Every person who displaces excess capacity is one less household subsidizing utility profits through preventable waste. Every water heater optimized for actual usage rather than theoretical maximum demand is a permanent break from overpaying for energy converted into heat nobody uses.